On this edition of Maury County Now, the Maury County Chamber and Economic Alliance gives you some good news about growth in 2014. Lucille's is open and ready to serve in downtown Columbia. Adam Southern takes us into the past with a story about law enforcement in Maury County. And finally, a tour of the new Columbia Police Department, which relocated downtown. All this and more on this edition of Maury County Now. Hello, and welcome to Maury County Now, Columbia and Maury County's news show covering the events, ideas, groups, and happenings in and around Maury County. 2014 was a great year for Maury County economically. Here's Will Evans, president of the Maury Alliance, to talk about the good news and how Maury County's grown.
Hi, I'm Will Evans, president of the Maury County Chamber and Economic Alliance. Today I wanted to talk about some of the things that happened in 2014 and some of the things that could be coming in 2015. So from an economic development standpoint, 2014 was one of the greatest years I think Maury County has seen in a long time. We had 5 announced projects that equated to 661 new jobs for the community, $97 million of capital investment. The average wage of those jobs is the exciting part. If you weight out all of those jobs, it's $37,000, so that's well above the current per capita income, and it's moving the needle in the right direction. To talk a little bit about those, you've got Comprehensive Logistics and Magna Seating, both in Spring Hill, General Motors suppliers. You've got ClareCore and Samuel Son in Columbia. Samuel & Son is a metals distributor. ClareCore is a R&D center for air filtration company. And then Sekisui in Mount Pleasant, who's been there for several years and just undergone a major expansion. So the exciting thing about all of those is you're seeing activity throughout all of Maury County. You got Spring Hill, Columbia, and Mount Pleasant represented. It's not just one part of the community that's experiencing growth. We're experiencing all over the entire community. Things have not slowed down. Naturally over the holidays, a lot of movement didn't occur, but we're right back up there. Our pipeline is just as full as it was at the end of the year. We've got, I believe, about 14 active projects that we're working. Several of them are coming very close. We could be seeing some really good news here in the next few months, and some things actually coming out of the ground, which will be really exciting. Economic development, we've just started a new 5-year plan of work. So we've just finished the last 4 years. Moving forward in the next 5 years, really focused on diversifying our economy, bringing in higher paying jobs, and really being able to capture population growth. A big focus for 2015, something new that the whole organization is going to be involved in, is the public education system. Understanding that is a big factor to encourage both economic growth and population growth for Maury County. So we're going to be working very proactively alongside the school board to help promote our public education system and improve our public education system. So you can find out more information about what's going on our website, www.mauryalliance.com. And to mention that, we are in the process of redoing our website, so that should be coming online here in the next month or two, probably March. Then after that, we'll be introducing a new Chamber app to offer some added benefits to our current members and new members, so keep checking back for more information to come.
Downtown Columbia has seen a growth in music and food venues lately, and Lucille's is no exception. Here's owner Eric Heatherly and Marcus Malone to talk about their restaurant, the music scene, and the best burger in town.
My name is Marcus Malone. I'm a co-owner here at Lucille's in the historic downtown Columbia Square. Partners with 2 of my very dearest friends, Jimmy C. Clark and Eric Heatherly, who I've known for 30 years.
All right, I'm Eric Heatherly. I'm one of the co-owners of Lucille's here in beautiful Columbia, Tennessee. It's a beautiful historic town, lots of history, a lot of heritage. Jimmy, Mark, and I, we're basically, it's a place run by musicians for musicians. And we're all about original music. Boutique foods, great recipes, great ambiance, vibe, hot rod cars, classic, vintage, everything, man. So we've tried to save everything we could about this place that was original, like all the bar stools, the original bar, the black and white checkered floor, and it's just starting to blow up and be a really cool, artistic, creative vibe, cool scene for not just Columbia, but they're coming in from all over the place.
Hi, I'm Jimmy C. Clark, and I want to welcome everybody right here to Lucille's. hopefully Columbia's #1 entertainment destination. It was a long, long time in the making. We really wanted to put together something that the people could enjoy from all over the world to come and enjoy the music and now the food too, which is terrific.
We had this great plan and had no idea that we would end up in Columbia. We looked in East Nashville and Nashville and Madison area for months and months and months and couldn't find a place. We wanted a honky-tonk, hip kind of restaurant slash bar slash music venue, and I think we ended up in the right place. I think Columbia was starving for something like what we're doing.
Jimmy and I were on tour with David Lee Murphy about a year ago. And we were on the tour bus running up and down the road, and we just got off the tour and we looked at each other and went, in 27 years in Nashville, why did we never own our own joint that we could play our own music in and do it the way we wanted to do it for a change? And then it just dawned on us and we said, let's go looking around. So we started all the way up in Hendersonville, went down to East Nashville, Franklin, Spring Hill, and ended up in Columbia. And we were walking the streets. And we're like, because we love old buildings, obviously, and we wanted some history and some vibe. So I think Jimmy was the first one that peered into this window here, and it was all filthy. You couldn't even see in here. It was all smoke damaged and water damaged. And he goes, man, I think this is it. And he looks up and it says Lucille's, and it's like B.B. King went, boom, you know?
I was the one that was lucky enough and fortunate enough to find this place. Nobody was here. And I looked inside, and in my mind I saw a crowded honky-tonk with people dancing and having a good time, and that's what we tried to accomplish, and so far, so good.
Not only do we have really good live music, we have fantastic food. We're already becoming known for burgers and onion rings here in the town, which we have a small menu. As you can see, a lot of the recipes are passed down from my family from years and years and years. But as far as the food, we make what has been said already as the best burger in Columbia. But the onion rings are our standout, and that's it's time consuming. We soak the onions for 24 hours in buttermilk. We go through a process where we rotate those. We do them fresh every day. Everything we do is freshly made from the salad dressings. So we hope that down the road we can stray from the menu a little bit and do some specials. Some special sandwiches, even some pastas and salads down the road. But everything, our goal is to be farm to table.
We really had no idea when we started this, there was such a need for a real juke joint type, pool hall type place here in Columbia. And to our pleasant surprise, it's really gone gangbusters from day one, and we're just blessed and happy to be here, man.
They're gonna have an absolutely great time as they come here.
You can go to lucilles1953.com. You can go to Lucilles1953 Facebook. And our menus up there, our hours, all of our entertainment bands. We'll have merchandise up there soon. And also, I just ordered these brand new Lucille's guitar picks. We've got all kinds of other cool merchandise ordered. It's on the way. And we're just going to build the brand, and it's all about originality and quality.
We'll be back with more Maury County Now after this.
Once every 3 hours, a fire death occurs in America. 80% of these deaths could be prevented with a working smoke alarm. Hi, I'm Lee Bergeron, Chief of the Columbia Fire Department. The men and women of Columbia Fire Department would like for you to have a working smoke alarm in your home. We have a program that if you call 931-560-1700, our men and women will come and place a working smoke alarm in your residence. We know by doing this, this helps make you safer and makes our city a safer place to work and live. These smoke alarms are brought to us on a grant by Governor Haslam and Commissioner Julie McPeak. Their goal is to place 20,000 working smoke alarms in residents in Tennessee. We know and they know by doing this we can help save lives and prevent the young and the elderly from perishing in fires. Thank you very much.
And now, back to more Maury County Now.
Law enforcement in Columbia has always been difficult, but especially during the Civil War. Here's Adam Southern with a story about protecting the community on this edition of Historic Maury County.
Hello, I'm Adam Southern, and this is another edition of Historic Maury County. And you know, being a policeman is dangerous, and it's dangerous today. It was dangerous way back in our history, but perhaps the most dangerous time to be a policeman in Columbia was during the summer of 1862. You know, during the spring of '62, the Union Army is coming through Maury County on their way to the Battle of Shiloh. A few months later, during the summer of 1862, the Union armies are coming back north, and they're coming through southern Maury County. And this one particular Union troop, they're under the command of General Palmer. As soon as they cross the Maury line, they stop and they kill a cow. Well, this cow belonged to a man named Pegleg Caldwell. And this just really made Pegleg mad. So he, on his wooden leg, takes off after the Union Army. And every step the Union Army makes, he's right behind them. And every chance he gets, he fires and he shoots at this army. And if Pegleg wasn't enough, there's all these guerrilla forces in Maury County. And they're coming out and attacking this Union Army and running off. And a few miles down the road, they're out and they're attacking again. And by the time this Union Army reaches Columbia, Columbia residents would write that this was the angriest set of soldiers they saw during the entire war. And General Palmer meets with the mayor of Columbia and says, look, I'm taking my army across the river, current day Riverside, and he is going to set up camp. And he said if there's one peep out of Columbia, he's going to turn his cannons and just blow the city off the map. So W.J. Andrews goes around and he gets some volunteers, and they create a little police force, and they make sure to go around Columbia all night to make sure there's no trouble whatsoever, because they believe General Palmer. And you know, people in Columbia, they didn't sleep very much that night. Everyone was nervous. They were sure those cannons were going to open up at any time. But you know, they made it 1 hour, 2 hours, 3. They thought they were going to make it through the night, when someone came and got W.J. Andrews and said, look, somebody's breaking into my grandmother's house. Well, Andrews and his police force go over there, and sure enough, there's 2 Union soldiers breaking in trying to loot this old woman's house. So Andrews, they arrest him. They were going to take these 2 men back to the Union Army, just turn them over, but they had to get to the river bridge to do so. Now, the only trouble was that to get to the Riverside Bridge, they had to go through Columbia's red light district. Down from where the archives is today, towards the bottom of that hill, it was nothing but homes of ill repute. And as W.J. Andrews and his police force take their prisoners down the hill, hundreds of Union soldiers come running out of these homes, and they're furious to see their brothers in arms prisoners and being dragged behind horses. So they've run out towards the policemen with guns, and Andrews, he really says, you know, this really isn't worth it. So they kind of turn the prisoners loose and they take off towards the courthouse. And they said that bullets were flying by them like crazy. And one of the police officers, a man named Crawford, he said that he was hit in the back with a rock, because not only were they shooting at him, they were throwing rocks at him. And you know, they get up to the courthouse, and there's doctor's offices on the square. And they take him to the doctor, and it wasn't a rock that had hit him. He had been hit by a bullet. And Dr. Frierson treats his wounds, and a few days later, he dies. He's buried in Greenwood in an unmarked grave. So he's possibly one of the first police officers to ever be killed in the line of duty in Columbia. And this ends this night. Even though there was shooting on 6th Street, General Palmer never turned his cannons on Columbia. I guess they were too distracted by the homes of ill repute. I don't know. Columbia survives. Pegleg Caldwell mourns the loss of his cow. General Palmer and his army, they move on. And Columbia's first official police force wouldn't be founded until after the Civil War. And it has a long and illustrious history, and we won't try to cover all that today, but we might talk about that in the future. But this is it for Historic Maury County today. I hope you've enjoyed, and I hope you will come see me at the library. Thank you.
The Columbia Police Department has relocated back to downtown Columbia, and Maury County Now has you in an exclusive tour.
Hello, I'm Assistant Chief Mickey Jones with the Columbia Police Department, and I welcome you to our new building. We are finally back downtown. We have been working on this for several years, and it's finally become a reality. And every police officer in our department is very excited about being here and serving our community from our new location. Today I'm excited to take you through a tour of the Columbia Police Department. And right now we are currently in the training room, and this used to be the old council chambers. And as you can see, it has changed quite a bit. We're very excited about this room because not only are we going to be able to host our training here, and our officers are going to be comfortable, and they have modern technology to be able to see and do the things that they're going to need to have that training. But we're also going to host classes in this room that will bring other people from other departments inside our building, inside our city, eating our food and sleeping in the hotels, which will bring some revenue into our city. So we're excited about that as well. Continuing on with our tour, right now we're in our what we consider our ADL room. It's a conference room, or that's what it looks like if you look around. It just looks like an ordinary conference room, but this is a very vital part of the Columbia Police Department. We are constantly doing community safety, and we do that through focused enforcement. Every one of our officers know what focused enforcement is, and how that works is every Thursday, every supervisor in our department from every division comes into this room. It's our ADL room, or our accountability-driven leadership room. And we talk about where the problems are inside of our city, who's committing these problems that we're having, and we focus on those folks, and we hit those areas hard. We targeted them. We target those folks that are causing problems. And all this information that all the supervisors gather in this room, they take it back and filter down to their officers, and then we begin working those areas that are problems, or those folks that are problems, and we combat the problem until it's gone. And that's what happens every Thursday in this room. The carpet that are in the common areas in our new building, it has a lot of meaning in it. To some people it may look like just carpet, but the carpet actually has a gold stripe in it for supervision within the department. There has a gray stripe in it for the silver badges of our patrol officers. And then it has the thin blue line, which is all of law enforcement, so we work together as a team. This is a criminal investigation division, or commonly known as the detectives area. And what has been so good about this area for them is they have gone from 3 or 4 detectives in one office to this area where they have their own personal cubicles. And these cubicles were bought through the state where they were selling the property. We got it very, very cheap, and was able to give them their own private area, which lets them talk on the phone without really interrupting other conversations that are going on in this area. So it's a very busy area, very fluid area. We're in the investigations conference room, and it's commonly referred to as the war room. The investigators will come in here when they're working a big major case, like a string of robberies or burglaries or homicide, and we'll come to this table and we'll sit down and we'll talk about who is doing it, what they're doing, what they're driving, everything that we know about the person that we're looking for or suspects that we're looking for. And we also bring in our partnerships like ATF, FBI, TBI, DEA, all of those that we are in partnership with. This is where everybody comes together and just brainstorms, looks at search warrants, makes sure everything's good to go. So we're very fortunate that Investigations now has their own area to come to talk about that, and it's in a secure, locked area that we don't have to worry about information getting out. This is the squad room where our patrol officers come before and after each shift to listen to the supervisor, find out where they need to be focusing their efforts at when they're out on the street. They will come in here and also do some reports, as well as talk with the supervisor if they need to during the shift. And this area is a lot newer, a lot more modern. It's a lot newer, nicer facility, and it's a big improvement. This is our records division, and they're a very vital part of the Columbia Police Department because they greet the public, they deal with all the records that officers produce. They are also very, very important when it comes to processing the paperwork that goes to the courthouse. So this area being bigger and more clean and more inviting to the public is a very big plus, not only to how they feel when they come to work, but also when we have visitors that come into the department. We're in the evidence area where officers and detectives come and log in evidence and check evidence out that goes to court. And one of the biggest improvements that we had with the new move was these pass-through evidence lockers. It just makes it easier and more accessible for the evidence clerk to pull the evidence from one side instead of coming over here and grabbing it and going through it's an easier process. It's a lot easier to access. It gives it a lot more accountability as well. And finally, we arrive in the Columbia Police Department's lobby. And this is the area where most of the public will have interaction with our records clerks that are just to the left of me. And also, this is an area that we wanted to be very inviting to the public. And we have incorporated some of the Columbia Police Department's history in this area that they can read and see where we came from to where we're at now. And we also built a report-taking room, so if you do have a walk-in complaint, officers can take you in that area and give you some privacy and find out what your complaint is or what you need to report. So thank you for coming along on this tour of the Columbia Police Department. We invite you to find out more about our happenings by stopping in and seeing what's going on in the lobby, checking our Facebook page, or going to our ColumbiaTN.com website.
To find out more information about any of the stories you've seen on this edition of Maury County Now, or to find out about any of the topics mentioned, look at our website at MauryCountyNow.com and look in the show notes for more details. Maury County Now is produced by Columbia TNTV. From all the cast and crew at Maury County Now, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.